you've got a voicemail message and you're not sure exactly how to return it, or who in your office to have return that call for you. Well, you are in luck today because I am joined today by Jason Avery, who is one of my fellow facilitators when it comes to the Roomful of Referrals program. And that program looks at how do you treat people the way that they want to be treated. And so we want to talk today about messages and returning them. So Jason, what you got for us today?
You know, Tiffany, behavioral styles are affecting your referability. Absolutely, no doubt about it. We are wired the way that we're wired, and we bring our most dominant behavioral style to the table 100% of the time.
Okay.
That's true in our customers too.
Okay.
All right. So when we're receiving an email or when we're receiving a voicemail message, and pay attention to the length and the pace of that message.
Okay.
And did they have a lot of details and information to share with us?
Mm-hmm.
Was that email, 5 pages long? Or is this a message that was short and to the point that said, hey, looking forward to talking to you, hit me back?
Gotcha.
Did that email only include 1 or 2 sentences that just said, looking forward to connecting, get me back? So who's calling on us? How are we going to respond to them?
Okay.
That's the big question here.
All right, so if they leave us a short message, hey, it's Tiffany, call me, or, an email with a sentence or two, that may be a tendency of the go-getter.
A go-getter, maybe a promoter, very fast-paced person.
Gotcha. Let's get it done.
They're busy. They don't have a whole lot of time to spend on this, so
Okay.
they're just getting right to the point, very direct, and they expect the same from you.
Gotcha. So if I'm calling the go-getter back, how should I approach that phone call?
I would probably start by saying, hey, I'm sure you're busy. I only need a moment of your time, and here's what I've got for you. And get straight down to the point. Stick with the relevant information only, and bullet points and bottom lines are what they're going to appreciate the most.
Okay, got it. So that's our go-getters. Now, what if we got that very detailed email with, page numbers referenced and like everything, all the questions spelled out? That might be typical of what behavioral style?
That would tend to be an examiner.
Okay.
Examiners want all the information. They want all the details. And so if they give you that long list of things, you better not reply with just the 1 or 2 sentences, because they're going to be a little offended and it maybe even question your credibility.
Oh, gotcha.
So what I would recommend is that if you don't have the time to respond right now, at least send them the couple of sentences that says, I'm tied up at the moment, but I'm going to get to all these questions for you. Here's when I'm going to get to it. Here's what information I might still need from you. And I will respond by this date and this time, but be very specific about what you're going to do. It's okay to say, I can't do it now, but you better explain when and how it's going to happen.
Okay. So that gives us the task-oriented sides, the examiner, the go-getters. That leaves us with the nurturers and the promoters. How would I know that an email or a phone message, or with promoters, a text message, might be from a promoter, and how should I respond to them?
Well, if it's the nurturer, you might find a little bit of indecisiveness.
Okay.
And maybe they still feel they need more options first. And they like to be able to compare before they commit and make a decision. They also like to learn how it might impact their family or their community. So if there's any mention about, consulting with my husband first, or, what impact will this have on the kids? If they talk about, what good will this do for my favorite charity or for the neighborhood? These are all clues you might have the nurturer.
Gotcha.
And the promoter, they're the fun-loving people. And if they're talking about having a good time, if they're using enthusiastic words like great and fantastic and
lots of exclamation points and
awesome,
caps.
yes, exclamation points and caps are definitely a good way. Emojis would fall into the promoter category too. So, these are all just little clues and ways that you can identify what behavioral style is that person that you're communicating with, even if you're not looking them in the face. And if you know their style, then you can adapt. If you've not been to the program, you're not sure how, mirroring is a good way to start.
Gotcha.
You behave the way that they're behaving, and they're sure to appreciate that.
Gotcha. Now, for those of you that have been through Roomful of Referrals, really quickly, Jason, because you get messages for your company, and then you actually decide which salesperson to send them to based off the message they leave you. Can you tell me super quick what that's about?
So we have one of our sales team who is very go-getter, promoter, very fast-paced, direct and to the point. We have one salesperson who is very nurturing and examining and likes to provide the information, take the time delivering it, go through it thoroughly. So sometimes we can get the wrong client with the wrong salesperson, and we create a difficult situation when it comes to them trying to relate.
Gotcha.
And nowadays, we've learned to identify the style up front, pair the client with the person of the like style so that they're going to relate better right out of the beginning and ultimately speak to each other on a level that's more comfortable for everybody involved. That's definitely helped to improve our close ratio.
Brilliant. So thank you so very much for joining us as we talk about what do you do with those emails and phone messages? How do you adapt to others to respond in the style they want? And heck, if you've got some salespeople, how do you divvy up? Or maybe you have customer service people, how do you divvy up those messages, those clients? Because it's all about how do you increase your relatability, which will hopefully increase your profitability. Thanks for being with us today, Jason.
Thank you.